Welcome to NFC East week, and in the NFC East is going to be a very fun division to watch this year for a lot of reasons, and I feel sorry for the Giants. I don't know what the Giants have going on. I don't know what their plan is. I don't really know. The teams in the NFC East, for those of you that are not familiar, are going to be the Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles, too much talked about Dallas Cowboys. It's going to be the Washington Commanders, and it's also going to be the New York Giants. So those are the four teams that are in the NFC East. And this year, the NFC East, historically, the team that wins the NFC East one year doesn't then go back and win the NFC East the following year. So that's going to be something that's going to be interesting to watch this year. So I think the Eagles are the Eagles. They won the Super Bowl. We all saw them. They're all great. They're phenomenal. Cool. Thank you, Eagles. Then you go to the Commanders. And a lot of people keep saying how much Jaden Daniels' second year slump, this, that, and the third. However, I don't really feel like CJ Stroud had a second year slump. And if he did have a second year slump, he still led his team to the playoffs. So that's something to consider there. And then you have the Dallas Cowboys. And, I think we talk about the Dallas Cowboys too much. I get that everybody says they move the needle and they're this and that. Any team that is always talked about is going to move a needle because they're always talked about. So it's the Dallas Cowboys. They are who they are. I will just leave it at that, and I will just move on to the New York Giants. And this year, the New York Giants, I believe, might have one of the toughest schedules in all of the NFL. If that is true, and the New York Giants have the toughest schedule in the NFL, good luck to them. I'm not sure what they're doing. Maybe they're going to be the team this year that none of us really know what they're doing, but they're just going to find a way to get it done. I don't really know if I see that in the Giants, but hey, they're in the NFC East, and I have seen crazier things happen in the NFC East beyond that. And so those are the teams that we're looking at. I will say I am interested to see how George Pickens plays with the Dallas Cowboys. I think that's going to be interesting to watch. And I also want to see how the Philadelphia Eagles bounce back from winning the Super Bowl, because let's be real, they were pretty dominant last year. And so it's just going to be interesting to see if they can continue that run and to really see what happens with the Philadelphia Eagles. If you like what you see, don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to check and make sure that you're subscribed to my channel. And don't forget to turn on those notification bells. Also, if you're feeling generous, leave me a comment in the comment section below. Before I run the clips of all the people that I talked to, I just want to thank every single person that I talked to. Thank you for allowing me to speak with you and being willing to talk to me about your team. I also want to say that all the information from everybody that I talked to will be in the description box of this video, and it will be on each of their individual videos. So you can go find them, you can go look them up, you can go to their channels, you can subscribe to their channels, you can get all their phenomenal content. So let me just go ahead and roll the clips from the NFC East so you can see all the great people that I talked to in this division.
They were always ready. We had a couple of guys backup guys playing in the Super Bowl, but nobody would know it because Vic Fangio keep everybody ready. So as long as we got Vic Fangio at the helm, as long as we got all of our, leaders on every phase of the defense, where it be Jalen Carter and Nolan Smith up front, Zach Bond in the middle, and then obviously Quinyon and Coop in the back, then we good.
Yeah, I love it. How do you feel losing Kellen Moore? Are you kind of like, okay, or were you like, this can be interesting to see how we adjust to a new guy?
I didn't really feel any way about it. I mean, Kellen Moore did a great job. We won the Super Bowl. He stuck to the plan, which was running the ball. But I mean, he didn't have to do anything unique to him.
Yeah.
Hand the ball off, hand the ball off, tush push, hand the ball off. So it's not like he did anything unique or had a specific scheme. We brought in an internal guy. We promoted an internal guy that's been with the Eagles for 10 years, been with Nick Sirianni since he was with the Colts. So he already know, hand the ball off to Saquon and let everything else do his job.
It's right. So simple. I don't get why it continues. It's like, if it's working, you do it over and over and over.
Exactly.
So yeah, that's awesome. And also, as you were talking, I finally realized why people get mad at me when I talk about Texas. Because I'm like, oh, Colin Simmons, oh, Anthony Hill Jr., oh, and it's like 5-star, 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 5-star. So right. For you, you're like all pro, all pro, all pro.
Right.
So I finally realized how people, when they hear me, they're like, oh my God, if this girl doesn't stop listening, we know, we got it.
Right.
I love that. Okay, so the draft rebuilding or contenders, and if you don't say you guys are going to the Super Bowl, I am going to lose my crap, because that is what Dallas Cowboys fans are supposed to say. We're going to the Super Bowl. But I'm just messing with you. Honestly, how do you feel? Now that the schedule's dropped, looking at your team, how are you evaluating? What do you think? What are your expectations for the season?
Well, before we made the Pickens trade, before we made the Pickens trade and before the draft, I had already said we were going to the playoffs. You know what I mean? Because I felt like Dak got hurt, and I felt like Dak Prescott can get you 9 wins. You know what I mean? Dak Prescott is a good quarterback. The problem we have, or a lot of people have with Dak Prescott, is that he doesn't show up in the postseason. But regular season, I feel like
regular season Dak is pretty good.
He can get you 9 games. So I felt like we were going to make the playoffs. You know what I mean? So now that all those trades happened, I feel way better. You know, I'm thinking about maybe
Are you going to do it?
10, 11. You know, I'm thinking maybe 10, 11 wins. And I know Philadelphia won the Super Bowl and the schedule just came out and we opened with them. You know what I mean? But Philadelphia is in our division. And as you know, division rivals, those games are a little different. You know, kind of know each other, you know what I'm saying?
Except for when you play the Giants, because I don't think the Giants have beaten you guys in probably, 5 years at this point?
Well, we own the Philadelphia Eagles too, so let's not act like this skip over that.
Oh, gosh, here we go with this.
Skip over that, you know what I mean? Now, they won a Super Bowl, so I can't really talk like that. But if we're talking about regular season, you know, we kind of own them, you know.
Can we not be chasing, a bad record and you do all of this work, you win 5 in a row, just to get back to 500. Like that's exhausting. So we finally did it, right? Here we are. We've got this tremendous record. We start off 7-2, and I'm excited. Everybody's excited. A lot of fans have PTSD. They're waiting for the other shoe to drop. Because this isn't happening to us. I'm like, you guys, this is real. We're okay. And then you lose 3 straight. You guys started that losing.
We started it,
You lose to the Steelers, and you turn around quick. Thursday night showdown with the Eagles for the first place. You lose that game. You then drop an inexplicable game to the Cowboys, and you're sitting there staring at a 3-game losing streak. The sky's falling. Fans are starting to say, "Here we go. We knew it. We're back. This was gonna happen. This is the real Commanders right here." And I'm like, no, not this time. Bobby Wagner gives a passionate speech to the team. He doesn't say a lot, but he gives a passionate speech to the team and tells them that this is a great team. And, adversity is what's going to make us stronger. And we're going to get through this, and we're going to get to where we belong. And he told the media that. The media were asking all types of crazy questions. And he was like, he said, look, come and ask me those same questions in 4 weeks. I bet you have a different answer. Right?
I know that's right.
5 weeks later, 5 straight wins. You're going into the playoffs 12-5, 6 seed. And, the rest is history. You hadn't won.
We re-signed Van Rotten, and then we signed a couple of backup swing tackles. Other than nothing changed. Nothing changed on offense except for drafting Jackson Dart and drafting Cam Scatbo. Everybody else came back because remember we re-signed Slayton too. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, this is interesting. Okay, so
Russell Wilson is new.
Yeah, but if that offensive line isn't, it doesn't matter who's new, honestly. Because okay. So, what group do you think is the most underrated group, or what player on your team do you think is like the most underrated player that people just don't really talk about?
Most underrated player we have. I want to say Tyler Nubin, the safety, the rookie safety. He was acting a heck of a rookie campaign before he got injured. He already had like 90 tackles in like 13 weeks. So I mean, I just think that I don't really think there's too many underrated people on this team. Everybody knows what the Giants are. They just got to get their issues fixed, and that's the offensive line. And the offensive line was actually playing well before Andrew Thomas got hurt. We have no depth. That's what kills us, especially in the NFC East.
Who's the running back? I do want to say this about the NFC East. They do have some interesting storylines this year. And I know I poked fun at the Dallas Cowboys, and I actually mean everything I said about the Dallas Cowboys because I do think we talk about them too much. But I am very curious to see what this division looks like this year and to see who finishes first in this division, as I have done with every single week. The team that I release on Monday is going to be the team that I think is going to finish 4th in this division. The team that I release on Tuesday is going to be the team that I think is going to finish 3rd in this division. The team I release on Wednesday is going to be the team I think is going to finish second. The team I release on Thursday, let's be real here, it's going to be the Super Bowl champs, okay? I'm not disrespectful. They will be on Thursday, so just calling that out here. The other thing I will say is the first video I ever recorded outside was in this spot, and I am going to put that video here as an overlay and talk over it. But as you can see how much different this background looks, I'm in the same spot. I've just spun the camera around a little bit to get a different view. But I'm just saying, like, pretty cool that I've made it this far, and I am actually now just recording outside. Anyways, I know none of you are here to hear about me recording outside and all those different dynamics. It is also summer, so that is also why it looks a little bit different than it did then, because I believe that was February. However, thank you for being here. Thank you for watching this video. And thank you to those of you that appreciate me being outside and creating content. I very much appreciate that. And as always, I will see you in my next video.